I was in my 20s, I made so many mistakes, like so many, but I also made good decisions too. And I saw this post on Instagram the other day that basically said, anybody over 25, drop a comment and leave good info to people that are under 25. And I thought that was a pretty cool concept because when I was under 25, and especially when I was under 20, I didn't really have a lot of people to ask certain questions to. So Carlos and I are gonna run some errands, and I thought that I would shoot a little bit of content around this and maybe it'll help one person. Oh, also, it's raining like crazy here in San Diego, so I wanna go splash in some puddles. Oh yeah. All right, so when I was younger, one thing that I did really well with is I took risks. And I didn't take crazy risks, but I took risks that were reasonable for when you're young, right? So for example, I broke up with this girl and I moved back to Boston just on a whim, right? Because I was 20, 21 years old and had really nothing to lose. Now, the mistake that most younger people make is that they just stay in their comfort zone of wherever they're living. So maybe they're in some small town or somewhere where they've been comfortable and they have a friend group and they know what to expect. They want to go chase their dreams. They want to go have these experiences and go move somewhere else, but they don't ever pull the trigger and go do it. I'm telling you that when you're young, one of the best things that you can do is go and take risks, like go move somewhere. Like literally go be broke, go rent a room with 4 other people or something and just do whatever it takes to go make that happen, because even if you don't go out and achieve your dreams, it's much better than staying in a place where you're at right now. Another tip that I followed, and I'm so grateful that I followed because it worked out, and even if it didn't work out, it would have been such a good decision. But my second tip is quit that job that you hate. If you're miserable 24/7 at your job and you're dreading going there, sometimes you got to pay the bills. I get it. Like for me, I was working at a restaurant and it wasn't a bad job and I made decent money for working in a restaurant. Like $1,000 a week is pretty good, but I wasn't fulfilled and I knew that I was wasting, just completely squandering my potential. And what I did was I applied at a bunch of different jobs and I got hired at this place called Beacon Payments. And just taking that little step towards applying at other jobs that I wasn't even qualified for, like literally jobs that said, we will not hire you unless you have a college diploma, and I didn't even have a high school diploma. So I applied to all of these different jobs and got picked up somewhere, and that led me to the next step of my life. And if I had never made that decision, I would have been stuck. There's this term in the restaurant industry called lifer, right? You get sucked into the cash and the easy, comfortable money, and you end up working in a restaurant for your whole life. And my brother, who is a teacher and used to be a bartender, told me, do not stay there. Get out of the restaurant business as fast as you can. And that's what I did. So whether you're working in a restaurant, whether you're working some other job or a 9-to-5 or something in an office, whatever it is, if it doesn't feed your soul, you have to get out there and go do something else. All right, so another tip that I have for young people is try a lot of stuff. Like, I don't mean fentanyl, don't do that. When I say try a lot of stuff, I mean like go out and experiment with jobs and things that you like to do. So one example that I have of somebody that did this really well is my friend Chance Hoke. Now Chance, when he was like 20 years old, worked for me in a sales job, and he was a phenomenal salesperson. Like, I mean, when he had the work ethic to go out and work, he would absolutely kill it. The problem was he didn't have a desire to get out and work a lot, so he didn't always put in that work, which was so frustrating to me, right? I'm like, dude, you are so good at this. Why don't you go fucking hard at it? But he realized something that I didn't about him, and it was that it didn't feed his soul. So eventually he was like doing custom murals and artwork and playing guitar and doing all this different stuff, and ultimately tried so many different things and eventually landed on starting a flooring company. And now his flooring company is doing really, really well. Like he's extremely talented, and he found something that he really loves doing. What he found was he loved sales, but it needed to be a product that he was passionate about. It needed to be something that he liked doing, and he also wanted to do something with his hands. And I think that that's what he needed to do. But guess what? He tried a million different things before he landed on that. So if you're not sure what you should be doing, if you're not sure what your hobbies are, or maybe you're watching this video and you're thinking, I don't even know what drives me. I don't even know what I'm passionate about. How do I find this drive and desire? look, it's in there, but you have to try new stuff. You have to travel, you have to get out there, and you have to just experiment with new things, and maybe something that you don't even think that you'd be good at, you're phenomenal at, you know? So just take that into consideration, and don't be afraid to quit your job and go try a different job. And you're just one relationship away from a lifetime connection that can completely change your life. So go do that. So Carlos, my camera guy, Carlos does all my content, all of my posting, all the editing. Carlos is a fucking savage. And if any of you are looking for any kind of edited work or any part-time camera stuff in the San Diego area, I'm sure Carlos would like to pick up some extra work on the weekend or something. So comment Carlos, I need you. Carlos, how old are you?
I'm 20.
You're 23, so you're still super young. I asked you, from your perspective as somebody who's in their early 20s, what you think as a teenager, or what kind of question you have or anything like that. So what did you say?
I said that when I was in high school, I wanted to know like what I'm gonna be doing for the rest of my life. I think just having more knowledge on like my options to do with jobs, and like kind of having a better idea of like how can I choose my job, because it's a pretty big decision in your life, what job you're gonna do for the rest of your life pretty much.
Yeah, and I think it's complete bullshit that the school system, the education system, pushes kids who are literally still children, even though you're 18 and you can go buy a pack of cigarettes, you're still a child. I was still a child, I think, until I was like 23. Like really like 23, 25. Like I still felt like I never felt like a man, like an adult. Like I never really fully felt that. Maybe I matured later in life, but seriously, the fact that the education system pushes people to make a decision on becoming this thing when they don't even know anything about themselves. Like all you've done to this point in your life is go to school. Like you haven't experienced any of the real world, yet you're supposed to then pick at least a field to go study to then get a career in. That never made sense to me. So for me, I always wanted to go to college, and then I just didn't. I was like, dude, I'm gonna go make money somehow else. I'm gonna go figure it out. And that's one thing that, like I said earlier in the video, you need to go out and taste stuff. You need to go try stuff. You need to go experience life and figure out what you like and what you don't. Because like, for example, Chance didn't go to college. Maybe he went to a little bit of college, but he didn't go out and get a degree. Guess what? He's making like 30, 40,000 a month right now with his flooring business, but he tried a lot of different things. Here's the thing, is most of your friends, if you're young, most of your friends that go off and out of high school, they go to college and they get a job and they do the typical what you're supposed to do thing. They are just as unfulfilled as you would be at any other job. Like, because they picked that they want to go be a doctor when they were 18, and they realize halfway through medical school, I fucking hate this, but I'm so committed and my parents want me to do XYZ, I guess I just gotta go do it. So my advice for people who are thinking like, oh my God, I'm 18, what should I be doing with my life? Relax, relax, relax. Forget what your family's telling you to do. Forget what society is telling you to do. If you're dead set on being a doctor or a lawyer or an accountant or this or that, good. You're extremely lucky, because most people do not figure out stuff like that until they're older, and you shouldn't, because you haven't experienced life. So if you really truly feel like you found that thing, go chase after it and don't wait. So I'm gonna wrap up this video because I actually have a meeting with a customer, but I just want to encourage you, if you're young, and honestly, no matter who you are, if you're watching this video, I need you to understand that the most important thing is just learning from the experiences you're going through and always asking for help. So go get a mentor as always, and go get it.